survived your workday, your rush hour commute, and you are ready to just kick back and unwind. Put your favorite slippers on, make your favorite drink, and join me, King Kevin, for the Cocktail Hour with King Kevin. What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Cocktail Hour with King Kevin. And as you can already see, I am sitting next to the one and only. Wait, let me talk about how excited I am. Insane P, Mr. Phil.
What's up?
Yo, all right. So I didn't give an elaborate introduction or bio or background, but Phil and I have been connected.
Is my intro music playing right now?
It played already.
Okay.
Yeah, it played already.
All right.
So when you guys hear the music from the intro for the show, this guy created that magic.
Don't
for
y'all
me.
love that intro music?
I love that. I love that. So there's so much that we can get into and that we're going to get into, but you put me on the spot. I gotta say this.
How?
Everybody's been hitting me up. Oh my gosh, you're working with Phil? I can't wait to hear what y'all working on.
Really?
Yes. I'm getting calls from LA. Like, oh my gosh, I can't wait.
Who's hitting you up in Los Angeles?
Poetic Soldier.
Oh, wow.
I
haven't seen him in so long.
I came here, me either, honestly. I came here later than I planned because I was doing another interview with the Queen of Shade.
Okay.
Bureau Dufault.
Yes, I know him.
And he was like, so I see you're working with Insane P. And I'm like, okay. Now I have to put something together.
They all start with me, you know?
Let me tell you something.
The magic starts in Insane P Productions first, okay?
Yo, so we could talk about what we did and what we aspire to do. But today on the Cocktail Hour, let's start with our drinks. So today, toast. Cheers.
Cheers.
Tap and take a sip.
Let me tell you how much, let me give you your I've given you your flowers personally behind the scenes many, many times. Mm-hmm. But let me give you your flowers publicly. This man is how long have we known each other?
I think I was like maybe 19. We're in our 20, 21, somewhere around.
We're in our like early 20s now. So
what he said.
Like we've known each other about 20 years, 25 years, even though we're in our 20s.
Yeah.
Yes. So like you have always been a pioneer, a trailblazer, so I just want to give you your just due,
Thank you. That means a lot. So it's one thing to have colleagues that you interact with or work with in entertainment, which they come a dime a dozen, but it's so rare that you come across someone that you can really build a connection with. And like this kinfolk, like I don't trust my own personal issues with other people. Like when you're going through, you have a select people that you want to talk to, and it depending on what it is, even fewer people, depending on what it is that you need to talk about.
Because people are judgy,
Yeah, and I know that, and I know this from experience. I can go to Phil, and he knows exactly what to say, and it's not premeditated. He just knows how to tap.
And I'm not a yes man. Like I'm not a yes man.
That's the best part about it.
I'll tell you like it is. Keep it real, and but I believe like you're that kind of friend as well, like you won't tell me what I want to hear, you'll tell me what I need to hear. So.
Exactly. There was something way back, it's years ago, you said to me, and I just aspired to the day where I could live it. I was talking about working a 9 to 5 and being so tired and not being able to work for myself, and I wanted to, and I was so afraid, but I looked at you and I admired you for what you did and how you stepped out and like you encouraged me in that moment. And it was years before it manifested in my life. But the moment I was able to walk away from my job and then turn down other jobs because I was good, it made me think of like, damn, Phil told me to just step out on faith and do it.
That's all you got to do.
And it worked. Before we go any further, our drinks tonight. Phil made our drinks. So tell me, what are we drinking?
We're drinking sangria mixed with a little Crown. You know,
it's delicious
to turn it brown.
Yes, because we love the brown.
Yeah, we love the brown.
Yes, in multiple ways. So now let's get into it. You are a music producer.
Yes.
You write, you sing. What am I missing?
Rap, arrange, vocal produce.
Uh-huh.
I do a little, you know, I got into acting in college with my brother. Shout out to my brother, buddy. And it was something we both enjoyed. Mm-hmm. I come from a, family background, but it's something I want to get back into. I thoroughly enjoy it. And I love improv.
Awesome.
Like off the rip. So
I used to do that.
Yeah.
I used to.
And I'm a clothing, get into my line.
Yes.
I'm so blessed, So
nice.
I've always loved fashion, and I've always loved like being out of the box.
It shows. It shows because you will never see this man not looking together.
I've never, ran to the drum beat of anybody else's. I've always been in my own lane, and I've been ordained to be in my own lane.
So life is funny how it happens. Because like I said, I was just doing another interview, and it seemed like that was almost one of the themes of the conversation of like when you're trying to fit into the mold that someone else created, it never works. But the moment you choose to create your own lane, you're most successful.
Yep.
And I mean, you're glowing. It shows. It shows in everything that you do.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yes. Listen, I'm going to always. I have this theory that the people that you love and people that you work with, you ain't got to love them, but the people that you work with too, you're working with them. You're clever. So it's in your best interest to uplift that person.
Yeah.
But I love you. So I'm definitely going to live. So I'm going to be like, because first off, handsome as hell. Let's start with that. Talented as hell. But on top of the talent and the great looks, the heart is gold. And you might get one of the two, but you'll never get all three. But we did with this one here. So
you calling me the Trinity nigga? You calling me the Trinity nigga?
Yeah, that's pretty much. Pretty much. That's what we got with you.
I appreciate that. Because I don't view myself as the that's the Holy Spirit. Like, but
your reputation, it speaks for you, and there's no I've never come I know my personal experiences with you, but I've never come across anybody who said, I don't know about that in the same key. Ever.
That's
and it's not just the talent, it's the heart. Seriously.
That's a great thing to hear.
Yeah.
But I've never came across a person that said, "Oh, that Kevyn."
I have,
but talking about your character,
yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
I haven't met anybody that said that character, that Kevyn can't fuck in the bedroom. I never came across that testimony either. So.
Nope, that's definitely not one of those testimonies you're gonna hear. That testimony does not exist.
So. That speaks about your character. So I never heard me personally, and me, I would shut that shit down.
Yeah, and that's the true definition of a friend right there. It's not entertaining it.
Yeah, I don't, and that's one. Can we get on loyalty?
Yes. Yes.
Can we talk about loyalty?
Let's talk about it.
And I don't entertain me as a friend. I don't entertain if my friend is talking about my friend. I don't.
Right.
I'm grown. I don't entertain that. So how do you feel about loyalty? Like,
the way I feel about loyalty is the same way I feel about love.
mm-hmm.
It's an energy that doesn't disappear, in my opinion.
Exactly.
It does not disappear. I'm not going to say I love you today and then tomorrow I don't love you now. There may be moments where we get upset with each other, but if it's a genuine, real love, it's not going anywhere. And you work through all of those things. So I feel it's the same with loyalty. Loyalty is also tied to integrity. I'm loyal when you're watching and when you're not. And I think that's a lesson that a lot of people don't get. That's what integrity is. When no one is paying attention to you, are you still doing the right thing?
Ooh.
Because the funny thing about loyalty is when you're disloyal, it always comes back to the person.
Oh yeah.
It will always find its way back.
It will always come back to me.
Okay. Exactly. Because it does.
The streets talk, you know.
Exactly.
The streets talk.
And they don't even realize that they put in their mouth sometimes.
I'm gonna let you. I'm not
even gonna say that. Really?
Sit back.
Oh, for real? Wait. Go say that again. He said what?
You didn't tell. Oh my gosh,
man! If you only knew.
I can't believe that.
I didn't warn you guys. So normally with the conversations, we do have like friendly banter, but I do like a lot more interviewing. But like whenever Phil and I get together, we talk business, but we also talk like we encourage each other. We kind of like push each other. We kind of like play with each other. No, we stop.
we
My bad.
That on camera.
No. Oh no. Well, I mean, there was no.
We did not. We're just playing.
No, seriously, we are playing, but like we're bros. Like at the end of the day, this is like I said, this is kinfolk right here. I definitely trust this man. 100%. So I've come to you wanting to do music at least 3 times.
I think about 4 to 5 times.
Okay. In recent years.
Yes.
Like within the last year or so, it's been 3 times.
Yeah. Within the last 3 years.
Yeah. And it's just the energy I get when I'm around you. It makes me want to create. Like not the last session, which was still dope as hell, but the other session at the other studio when we were sitting in that room creating music and like we were all in the zone and the way you constructed the song was just
for your V-Day.
Yes, for my V-Day video.
Yeah.
And with the construction of that song it was magical. It was almost like stars aligned perfectly. And even when like you were doing a melody and it slipped your mind, but then it was like, nope, it was ringing in my head. I want to ask you, when you're creating, where do you find, because like you have tons and tons of songs you've produced with many artists at this point. How do you still create something so fresh and so new every time? Like, do you ever get to a place where it's like, oh gosh, I'm just stuck? And how do you work past it?
I do get to those places where I have to step away and then come back, you know, do a little more than I know when I get stuck. Because it's like you're doing too much. You're putting too much in this track. You need to pull back, you know. So when I feel myself putting too much into a beat, I'm like, this sounds a fucking full. Like it sounds like you put everything you can into this beat. You need to step away, come back in an hour or two, smoke a blunt. Speaking of, and come back with fresh ears, you know what I mean? And when I do that, it's just like I heard the beat for the first time.
Wow. And
then I'm able to pick apart certain things. Like it's crazy because when I hear it with fresh ears, I'm like, what the hell was I doing? Like, and I'm able to, and I might hear a new melody and I might just erase the whole thing. Wow. So that's the whole creative process right there. But I may hear, like, I have voice memos in my phone, wherever my phone is. I don't know where my phones are. Okay. But yeah, like I have voice memos in my phone that I could let you hear.
So is it like you like going throughout your day and you'll get a melody or something
I
in
get
your
a
head?
melody in my head that I can't get out.
Let me pull that shit right to the side with a slide and massage your inside.
Whoa, wait, what did you say?
Oh.
Wait, what you say? You massaging what?
Let me pull that shit right to the side with a slide and massage your inside.
Let me pull that shit right to the side while I slide and massage your insides.
Wow.
But it's a concept for a song.
Right.
You know, I might arrange it different, you know, when I get in the studio, but yep, I notched them to my lyrics.
So how do you know when like there's music that you create that's like that's a really good song, but then there's music you create like no, that's a hit, like that is it. How do you know when you got that?
When I can't get it out of my head, like when it's stuck in my head, like this song that's coming out soon, but it's not for me. It's for another artist.
Mm-hmm.
Like the chorus that I wrote is so catchy. I sing it every day.
Wow.
Like, and I'm like, damn, I should have cut that shit. Like, but it's already sold, recorded. Right. But like, damn. Like, I let this get away from me. But there's tons of other songs that I've written. Like, even shit I wrote in 2013, you know, like that, you know.
So
I produced
when I'm gonna say I started writing, like I started coming into my creative self around 13. And I was a young Chris Brown in the terms like I had songs on top of songs on top of songs. And like each of the songs touched me, they connected with me. But I hear you when you say like it's just that one that you can't get out of your head. Like there was a song that I wrote, and I'm not gonna sing it, but I shared it with my mom and like one of my really good friends. And honestly, I forgot about the song, but years later they came back to me. And it's like, yo, Kevyn, that song you wrote, and they started to like quote the lyrics to me. It's like, yo, that's the one I should be doing something with. Yeah. Yeah. When we offline, I'll let you hear. Okay. It. But yeah,
and I'll let you know when we're offline. A song that was a big hit on the radio.
Is it a confidential thing that you can't tell on camera? Because we want the juice. We do want to know. I mean, if you can't, you can't. Now I'm gonna respect that.
It's not that I can't. I'm just saving it for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
So you can't mention that, but you can talk about your early career in music.
Oh yeah. I started singing. I think I've been singing all my life. But major when I started. Okay, I used to sing with Tyrone Tribbett and Greater Anointing.
Wait, when it was Tyrone Tribbett and Greater Anointing versus Ty Tribbett and GA?
Versus Ty Tribbett.
Well, yeah.
Because there's no Greater Anointing or no GA.
Yeah, at all now.
But I started singing with that group when I was 15 to the age of 20. So 5 years. Did Cry Me a River with Justin Timberlake. Sung with Twinkie Clark, Common, NDRE, John Mellencamp from the Eagles, Timbaland. So, you know, got the opportunity to work with
crazy
a lot of great artists, Destiny's Child. So, like I learned the industry at a young age, but I also learned that the industry is a vicious industry.
Yeah.
You're disposable at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, as you know, the entertainment industry is a dog eat dog world. So when I was 21, I was diagnosed with brain cancer. Beat that.
Praise God.
Twice.
Praise God. Praise God.
So when I was in the hospital, I made the conscious decision to like, if God brings me through this, I'm going to live for me, like live every day like it's my last. I'm not going to go back to the 9 to 5 working for nobody. I'm going to make my passion my paycheck,
Yes.
And I've done it, ever since.
To you no, it's good. I just need look. They need to make sure they heard that one.
Yeah, like I went into survival mode almost. It wasn't easy at first because I had one client, like one loyal client, which was my cousin Dara Lashley. Shout out to Dara. But me and Dara was working together ever since the age of 14. So, but she was consistent. Like, she was like, Phil, if you going to do this, I'm a support, and I was, from then I got to work with, because my timeline is off. Cause I was producing before, I got sick. So I always was producing music. Let me correct that. I've been producing music since 1995. Was it good?
We start somewhere. We all start somewhere. So.
But 21, like from the time I got out the hospital, it's when I started like really investing in myself, But like I work with Duran Bernard, who sings background for Erykah Badu. He's his own independent artist now.
Yes.
Like the boy is dope.
Crazy.
I work with like many big name artists that are now big names today,
Right.
But they started out with me.
Right.
It's been a hell of a road to get here, but we here.
Yeah, right.
We here.
It's funny. When I was talking to Bjorn, we were talking about like our age, and like it may seem like it took forever to get to this place of like I'm living in my success, and like on the outside it's like, oh, I'm getting old. I'm not in my. If I could have did this in my 20s, and I'm still 20. But if I could have did this in my 20s, or if I knew then what I know now, I would have been so much further along. But at the same time, those experiences they just continue to build. And here we are in our 20s, in our prime, and thriving, and like built a name for ourselves.
Yeah, man.
And that's something that we do acknowledge a lot, how we built that.
And we didn't have social media like
that part.
Like,
Yeah, well, I mean, we had Black Planet and MySpace.
Ooh. Black Panther. Oh,
yeah, we took it back for a little bit.
But like MySpace, like was the shit because you could control your own. Like I
remember when Facebook first came out. I'm like, what is this? I can't change the background and add music. I was
trying to add my own music, like put my own MP3. Like what? What is this? No. Tom? Who's this Tom?
But
we need to fix that.
No, Tom had it. It's Mark Zuckerberg who didn't. Remember, Facebook came out and you couldn't do, and you couldn't customize.
MySpace was Tom.
Yeah, so MySpace you could customize.
Because Tom was your only friend.
Listen, when you joined, you automatically had a friend in Tom. Yeah. I don't know if you realize that Tom was your best friend the moment you joined. Friend. Yep, I remember having like your top 8 or top 9
on a white shirt.
Yes. like looking back like this. He's looking like this.
He looked like he was in the classroom. Yo,
Tell
Tom,
your age.
I'm only 22.
I'm the same age as he is. So if he's 22, so am I.
Yep.
So you talked about your experience with cancer.
Yes.
That's not something to be taken lightly, and I don't want to just gloss over it because that was I think a pivotal moment in your life, and then you've done it twice, and you survived twice.
Cancer don't want no smoke.
What was that experience?
It was like, I think because I was so young back then, it was like cancer is the old people's disease.
Right.
That's how it was presented to us. As, we 80s babies,
Yeah.
So cancer was like, oh, you young, you ain't got to worry about that until you get in your 40s and 50s, and So I didn't realize the severity of it when I was diagnosed. So I took it, maybe that was a good thing because I took it light, when I was diagnosed. I was like, because I had long dreads. I was more worried about like getting my dreads cut because I went through the process, and back then I was really like, I want with my locks, and so I was like, oh my gosh, I have to cut my locks. I was more concerned about that at that time than because I had a spiritual connection with my locks the first time around. Like I had. So I was like, oh my gosh, I was devastated. So my mom was like, boy, don't you worry about the damn locks. So I was like, that's knocked me out of it. I was like, okay, let's cut the locks. And when I'm glad I went through that experience because like it taught me about science, it taught me about math, it taught me about like eating properly. Like it opened. I felt like the Dookie Howser by the time I left out of that mother. Like I learned a lot. So the experience I wouldn't wish on anybody, but I'm grateful for the experience. Cancer is no joke. I'm not making light of it. I sometimes have to make a little, light of it to cope, but yeah, it was hell on earth. Like, I don't even remember, like, I kind of blocked some of it out. And I don't even remember some of it because it was that traumatic for me.
Wow.
So I went in there for 2 surgeries. Well, I went in there for 1 brain surgery, and 2 weeks later, the tumor grew back and I had to have another brain surgery. And all I remember was signing all these different documents, like that said, if you die, and they had to rush me off to surgery. So like, they're making me sign them fast as hell. Like, whoa. I'm like signing things I don't know what I'm signing, like, and I'm clearly not in my right mind from the first surgery. So like, I don't know what I'm signing, and I'm just like, it was just a mess. So I was trying to keep myself calm, I was trying to be strong for my mom, be strong for my dad, save face, like, let them know I'm okay. I would cry sometimes when I was by myself, but
you said something just now that struck a chord with me because being so young, certain words you just don't expect to hear, certain diagnoses you don't expect to get.
Yeah.
You said they would give you all these papers to sign, and you hear you see or you hear if you die.
Yeah.
And it's like
certain words stuck out to me. Like,
yeah,
okay, if you like, who do you bequeath stuff to? Like, I don't got shit. Like, like my brother. Like, I was just writing stuff down.
But more so, I mean, you talk about trauma. What was the emotional impact? Because it's one thing when like you're saving face and you don't want your family members to really be upset, but you're still carrying all that on the inside. Like, what did that do to you to even see that there's a possibility that this could happen?
I'm trying to take myself back there. I don't.
So let's relate. Let's relate. So, 2015, I was shot.
Yeah.
Guy came in, put the gun to my face. My immediate instinct was, like most people freeze, or some people try to run. My instinct was get the gun out my face and try to fight for my life. And that was the first instance where I'm like, oh crap, I might die. And once I was able to successfully get the gun out my face and it didn't go off, I had a chance. And then I heard the gun before I felt the bullet. And now I'm sitting here. I know I was hit because it made me fall to the ground, but I couldn't tell where I was hit. So I'm scared and like I don't know what's going to happen. And I had to make a couple of phone calls. Called 911. Hey, this is where I'm at. This is what happened. Come get me. I called my manager. Hey, this just happened. My manager had just like walked out of the store maybe a good 30 minutes prior to this happening. Wow. He rushed back around and I called my mom. And that was the scary part. Because my mom is the type of person, like she worries, she stresses, and she loves her babies. And to my brother and sister, you already know it, and I'm just going to say it for the camera, I'm her favorite. So like, it's hard to explain to my mom what's happening right now without really, like, there's no way to say it without her getting upset, but like, what's the best way to like lighten the load of this message? Mom, I don't want you to be upset. I'm okay. I was just shot. And it was like, I don't know that it really hit me in that moment. I think it was until like a week after I got out of the hospital. I'm sitting in my apartment by myself, staring at the wall, and then trauma hits me. I almost died. Like, that's when it really hit me, the severity and the weight of what just happened to me. Someone that I never seen before a day in my life walked into my life and almost took it. Like, that's so heavy. And like, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, what, that was 7 years ago. Jesus, that was 7 years ago. I'm a survivor. Hey. I do not own the rights to this song. But no, that's like, in that moment, being so young and experiencing something so traumatic, you don't think when you walk out the door that you're going to experience something like that, and then you're faced with it, but then you realize you survived.
Can I reach for my?
Yes.
I've been trying to. Okay.
Oh, you got something. Right?
Huh?
That's on this part.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, so did you have any moments like that, like where it was like there was this big old threat staring you in the face, but then it's like it almost took me out. I almost didn't make it, but I'm here.
I remember only having moments of me constantly asking,
sorry.
God, why me? Like, at that time, I had just turned 21. I wasn't drinking, I wasn't smoking. So those were all the things we knew that bordered on cancer.
Yes.
Smoking caused cancer. That's what we knew. Yeah. We didn't know about foods and, Oh
my gosh, that's a whole nother conversation.
So, because we only knew what was taught to us. we didn't. We wasn't. We were internet savvy, but we weren't today. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't have all the knowledge that we have today. It wasn't accessible. You know, unless we went encyclopedia hunting. Like,
yeah. Yeah. But you know what? Even still, there's things that were discovered long after that wasn't even available as information.
So we had the resources that were available to us.
Mm-hmm.
So when my case came along, my oncologist said that was the first case ever that had come to Jefferson.
Mm.
My case, I was the youngest case study ever. They didn't know what I had.
Wow.
So they were running tests on me like 6 months before they found out, you know.
Wow.
It was a rare disease back then.
Wow.
Now people are getting it more prevalent, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And my cousin had it. My cousin had it at the same time I did and didn't know it.
Mm.
And passed away, I want to say 4 years after.
Wow.
No, it was longer than that, because he was diagnosed like years after. No, damn, he diagnosed like maybe 7 or 8 years after I even got out the hospital.
Wow.
But he had a lump that he didn't tell anybody about. But he was scared to get checked.
Yeah.
And when I came home, I was diagnosed December 15th, 2005. They let me come home for Christmas break. They told me to come home and enjoy my Christmas, and I would have surgery on Valentine's Day 2006. And over that break, I gathered all my family up because they thought it was a possibility that would be my last Christmas. And I gathered them at upstairs, and I told them, if y'all feel any changes in your body, go get checked.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. And he was in that number, and he didn't, speak up. But yeah, I don't think I've had any, like you did, like any moments of like trauma where it came rushing back to me.
Yeah.
I just kept asking God, why me? And he said, why not you? That's clearly what he said. He said, what makes you so special that I can't use you
Wow.
as an example to show people I'm still God.
Wow.
I'm still the same man, or I'm still the same, God that is a healer from way back then. So he said, just go through this test so I can show your whole family that I'm still a healer.
Yes.
And when he said that, it blew my mind. Like, he was like, you're going to be good.
Wow.
I'm going to take your cancer away. You're not going to be perfect, but you're going to be perfect.
And you are. And you are, by the way. In case you didn't hear it recently, you are.
Now, I'm far from perfect, but I'm perfect in his eyes. I'm perfect to him.
So this has been my theme. Shout out to John Grace. I'm going to shout him out real quick because he did a play.
Shout out.
He did a play called The Perfects. And without me telling the story, the premise of the story is the things that you disqualify yourself with, the things that you think are imperfect makes you perfect to tell that story. Mm-hmm. You've been through it. You've grown from it. You have the experience. Even if you don't feel like you're fully out of that thing, it's those long nights, those dark days that you're gaining experience. You're getting experience points. And
let's just practice real quick.
Listen, on the cocktail hour, because I don't typically do it, but I want you to be as authentic to yourself as possible.
This helps my mental, you know. This is medicinal for my brain surgeries. We'll say that.
But it's really an issue of like you say you're not perfect but you are. You're perfectly where you need to be when you need to be there. You survived several things, and I mean, here you are, and it's funny how all the stuff that you went through and you're still able to be a light. That part,
I appreciate that,
because some people are overtaken by
honestly that's all I want to be. An inspiration to show people like, if I can do it, you can do it, you know.
Yes,
that's all I want to be.
Speaking about what you want to be, when you were younger in school, and the teacher said, "Phil, what do you want to be when you grow up?" What did you say?
A stripper.
You did not.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah. Because I wanted to be a stripper and an orthodontist, because I knew they made money.
Okay. Was that what you were passionate about?
No, I was passionate.
See, at home with the brooms.
I was passionate about archaeology.
The more you know, like I would have never known.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to know more.
I was, if you know me, I love Jurassic Park. So I was been into like, I always been into big things. But like the study of big things, like,
right.
Like big buildings, big skyscrapers. Like I was just in Virginia, and the architecture, they was building this building. I'm all over the place. They was building this building, and the architecture was so unique because the way it was standing, it was glass and cement, but it was mostly glass. And I was just fascinated with how big and massive it was. And it was just like these two pillars of cement holding it up.
Oh, wow.
But it was all glass. Nothing like the foundation was leaning, and it was two pillars, and then this big ass glass building structure. I was like,
that's interesting.
I want to see the blueprints. Because I took up drafting. I'm a certified drafter. So I can design houses and all that. Yeah, I did that in high school because I went to a trade school. Go figure.
My brain just went somewhere else, but okay. Is that way to teach you how to be trade?
Yeah, I went to a trade school. Shout out to CCTS, Pid Tech. But yeah, I took up drafting, so I always been into like, you know, architecture, interior design. So yeah,
that's awesome. So how did you pivot from that to music? Where did the change happen?
Well, I always did music. Like I don't even want to say as a hobby, because it was never a hobby to me. Some people might have thought I did it as a hobby or took my passion as a hobby, because, you know, people don't take your craft as seriously as you do.
Yeah.
But no, I was selling beats out of my book bag in 5th grade.
Wow.
So yeah, I always been about my bread.
Yes, sir.
I was hustling. Me and my brothers, I can rap. So me and my brothers had a rap group, you know.
I think you told me about that before. Yeah.
Yeah. And in the other interview.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah.
So this hour has gone by so fast.
Really?
Yeah, we got like 10 minutes left. So what I want to, a couple of things I want to do. I kind of want to do like a trivia situation or like a rapid fire of this or that.
Okay.
I don't know how fast. Now my brain has to move fast enough so that way I can give it to you. But let's see what we can do.
Okay.
And this is music related.
Okay.
So first question is going to be between the two genres. Which would you pick?
Okay.
R&B or soul?
R&B.
In terms of artists, would you choose SZA or I want to say, damn, it's not fair. This is hard for me to even come up with. All right. I'll just go with Doja. SZA or Doja?
Doja.
Rap or gospel?
That's not fair. Oh, let me go with the Lord.
Follow your heart. Is that obviously the heart goes to us, to the Lord, so that works. Yeah. That's fair. Mickey or Bunny? Or Bugs? I'm sorry. Mickey Mouse or Bugs Bunny?
Oh,
I'm sorry. This is what happens on a cocktail hour when you finish your drink.
Oh,
for me,
they both goats. Mickey's the goat.
All right, the last one. Kevyn or Venom? You better get this one right.
I love Kevyn.
Thank you. I love you too. All right. So the very last thing I want to do before we talk about like where people can follow you is like what's next? Are you working on anything that you could talk about? Is there somewhere where people can look forward to from you?
People, you can look forward to my first ever album.
All these years, finally.
All these years. I'm finally working on my first ever solo project. My first single will be coming out this year. So I don't want to give a date.
Right.
Because if it doesn't release on that date,
right,
y'all gonna be mad at me. So but I assure you it will be out this year.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Is it the song You Let Me Hear? Or is that song going to be on the album?
I don't know what song I let you hear. Oh,
I'm not going to mention it, but I think it was more like the genre of it was a little bit
raunchy
back in the day. No, it was more of a like the 20s type vibe to it. You remember? Last time I was here with you, you let me listen to it.
On that computer?
Yes. Okay. It doesn't. So honestly, at the end of the day, it really don't matter because everything that this man touches is gold. Like. So I know, like, just listening to what you have helped others to create, the anticipation. Not to put pressure on you, but the anticipation is high. The anticipation is high because I know, like, it could be like one of those soulful vibe songs, and I just because I've worked with you, I hear what you create. I just can't wait.
And it's just so y'all know, it's not gonna be any of this. It's gonna be real music. So,
right.
If y'all expecting me to sound like any other artist, I don't.
No, you sound. That's the beautiful thing about it. You sound like yourself. You have your own lane. You can do literally any genre of music because you have, but like the music that you are creating for yourself.
I just don't want it to sound like every other artist because if you want to sound like that artist, put them on.
True.
You could turn on, you could turn on, that artist if you want to hear that artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you can always put them on a feature.
Yeah. If I want that artist,
exactly. If that's the
vibe I'm going for, I'm going to create a stylistic sound that fits that type of artist and feature that artist on it. Right. But I don't see the sense of duplicating 20 different artists that sound like one artist. Like
that's true. That's true.
I don't. That's insane. That's insane.
All right, one last question, and then you can give us your social media. What songs are you listening to right now? Like, who is your favorite artist right now?
Me.
And there you have it. Where can we find you on social media, or
you can follow me, or you can find me on Instagram at I'm So Insane. On I don't get my Facebook.
Okay, so you can follow him on Instagram.
Yeah, at Twitter. Oh, I don't even
you can follow him on Instagram. I'm so excited.
But if you follow Kevyn, you can find me
because of the music that he's created for me. We're tagged. Yeah. We collaborate on stuff, so you'll see him mentioning me because of the music. I'll mention him because of the So I did a photo shoot. You guys see you post. Yeah, I saw you posted one of the photos that we took.
Yeah, throwback.
Yeah,
I think my Twitter handle is Insane the King, or
I think so.
Yeah, Insane the King on Twitter, and I'm So Insane on Instagram.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
for sitting down with me and allow me to come into your space.
Oh,
and
you're welcome to the asylum anytime.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah,
I love that. And I actually really enjoy being here. Like every time, it's a vibe.
Yeah.
So listen, y'all.
And if anybody needs studio sessions or production, studio beats, holla at me. I'm your guy.
Yeah. In the tri-state area, you are available. You guys got his social media handles.
I travel,
yes, you do.
Yeah. My production travels, so holla at it.
Definitely, it's well worth it. Again, when you watch the show, the intro of the show, the music that's playing, he created.
Yes.
So we got to get on that. I got to get on it. You did your part. I got to do my part.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you all for watching
another episode of the Cocktail Hour. I'm so grateful to have Mr. Phil Cason, aka Insane
Yes.
sharing his stories, his music, his energy with us, and we got to get you back.
Yeah, I would love to come back.
We definitely have to do this again.
Definitely.
You guys heard it here. So.
We're out of drinks. Oh,
well, almost. So we're gonna finish our drinks. You guys finish yours. Hopefully, you guys got something nice in your hand.
Yes.
And we'll talk to you next week.
What's up? It's your boy Insane, and you're watching the Cocktail Hour with King Kevyn.